So today we want to welcome Reverend Terrence Shea. As most of you know, Terrence is a former Trappist monk whose quest for deeper truth is always evident in his talks here at Unity. Please join me in giving a warm Unity of Vancouver welcome to Terrence Shea. Remember to do the Lord's Prayer.
I will. Good morning, everyone. It is so good to be back with you. I will let you in on a little secret. I have been flat on my back since the 27th of January, and having one of those events that are happening in the planet right now, whatever we want to call it. But I would not miss the opportunity to be with you. So thank you for welcoming me. Foundational, really, to this whole work that we do is the idea that we are an expression of something. And that as such, our call as human beings is to be the fullest expression of that something that we can be. Now, I don't need to remind you, this is preaching to the choir for sure, but the fullest expression that you are called to be is not your individuality. And it is not even your personality, though those are methods that you will use to express fully. But what you're really called to do, and what we're all really called to do, is come to that place of the fullest expression of our consciousness of the One, and that we are that consciousness. And that's an important thing to get. Many of you may not know, it doesn't show up in my bio particularly often, but after I finished my first degree in linguistics, and one would say, wow, that sounds like certainly a valuable thing to take a degree in. I guess you know about language. Yes, I do. But after that, I felt like further need. I was also dating an actor at the time. And so I decided, well, I'll just take a master's degree in theater, which I did. But once you're hooked by live theater, it never lets go. Because there's something going on there in live theater. There's this thing of every well-made play, as we're taught in theater, has societal level, the social level. For example, Unity in 1964, when this building was built, and Unity today. Catholicism in 1964, Catholicism in 1890. The societal level. The one level down is a little bit more of an expansion or an exploration of the issues at the societal level. Things like socioeconomic well-being, the philosophical and values of that society, and of course, never to be approached from the podium, the political, to be avoided at all costs, under all circumstances. The third level, and this is where you will hear speakers speak most from today, is the psychological, maybe pop psychological sometime, maybe self-help sometime, but really that internal dialogue that is going on within us all the time about what the world is about, what we're about, where our place is, what's going on for us, and how to make the best choices about where we are and what's facing us. All three of those levels are often encountered in live theater. That isn't, by the way, just entertainment, that is really seeking to pull you into something. The final level of theatrical exploration is the level that takes you by the throat, throws you into the dirty dishwater, grime and greasiness of your personal failings, sin, guilt, and shame, etc. That place where catharsis is possible. It's the beauty of the theatrical experience, that live thing of watching those actors on stage. Not pretend to be those people and pretend to have those emotions and pretend to be in that circumstance, but to really be there. And when they do that, they draw you in. And so, whether we're talking about Ibsen or Shakespeare or Patrick Shanley, what happens is you're immersed in that stuff of your world, and you're finally pulled up gasping, and you go, oh my God, that's what it was all about. And you're not talking about what was happening on stage. You're talking about what's been happening in you, that you finally have some insight into, thanks to the drama. I wish Marilyn were here today so I could get her words of approbation on that. But it's true. So today I've come armed with a clip. Patrick Shanley wrote a play called Doubt. Anyone seen it? Doubt. Okay. The Arts Club Theatre did a production of it with Gabrielle Rose playing one of the main characters, Jonathan Young playing the other. I can't remember what year it was I saw it. I thought the casting was poor, but but the plot was still good and the writing was brilliant. It was made into a film with Meryl Streep and Philip Seymour Hoffman in what I believe is his last role. Matthew, if you are ready, could you run the clip for me?
What do you do when you're not sure? That's the topic of my sermon today. Last year, when President Kennedy was assassinated, who among us did not experience the most profound disorientation? Despair. Which way? What now? What do I say to my kids? What do I tell myself? There was a time of people sitting together, bound together by a common feeling of hopelessness. But think of that. Your bond with your fellow being was your despair. It was a public experience. It was awful. But we were in it together. How much worse is it then for the lone man, the lone woman, stricken by a private calamity? No one knows I'm sick. No one knows I've lost my last real friend. No one knows I've done something wrong. Imagine the isolation. You see the world through a window. On one side of the glass, happy, untroubled people, and on the other side, you. I want to tell you a story. A cargo ship sank one night. It caught fire and went down. And only this one sailor survived. He found a lifeboat, rigged a sail, and being of a nautical discipline, turned his eyes to the heavens and read the stars. He set a course for his home, and exhausted fell asleep. Clouds rolled in. And for the next 20 nights, he could no longer see the stars. He thought he was on course, but there was no way to be certain. And as the days rolled on, and the sailor wasted away, he began to have doubts. Had he set his course right? Was he still going on towards his home, or was he horribly lost and doomed to a terrible death? No way to know. The message of the constellations, had he imagined it because of his desperate circumstance? Or had he seen truth once and now had to hold on to it without further reassurance? There are those of you in church today who know exactly the crisis of faith I describe. And I want to say to you, doubt can be a bond as powerful and sustaining as certainty. When you are lost, you are not alone.
In that clip, you saw those 4 levels of discourse. You certainly saw the church of 1964 in Father Flynn, and you saw the church of 1890 in Sister Aloysius. You got even a glimpse of what they believed about life and how they approached life. If we'd watched more, and I encourage you to watch the film, it is available on Netflix, watch them interacting with one another in sometimes the most painful of ways, and at the same time struggling with their own inner moments. And I encourage you to watch the final moment. The final moment. And I'm not even going to mention to you what it's about. But talk about being face deep in the dirty dishwater and being pulled up and going, that's what it's about. We live in difficult times. I don't have to spend even a second up here talking to you about the difficult times we live in. And the doubt that we feel, sometimes multiple times a day, that everything's going to be okay. You know what I'm talking about. Father Flynn, in the clip, talks about certainty and doubt. And I want to expand it a little bit more. The French philosopher Pascal said, uncertainty is a very uncomfortable position. Certainty is an absurd position. In another film I encourage you to see if you haven't already, which is Conclave. The statement there is, certainty is the enemy of faith. Faith is what we need in the face of doubt. But what to have faith in? What is it that we can believe in more than anything else? In my spiritual community, one of the things that we have done, is we train our prayer ministers in-house. And it's a 4-year program. The first 2 years are the fundamentals of the philosophy, and the second 2 years are an intense immersion into what faith and prayer really is. I've graduated maybe 20 practitioners in my, as we call them, our prayer ministers, in my career. And when those practitioners go for graduation, they're taken from me and they're given to a panel of examiners who do not know who they are, and in a lot of cases do not know me. One of the best moments in my life as a minister was when the head of the panel called me and said, "Terry, your practitioners were all identifiable by one single characteristic." Until the rest of that sentence came, I was a little nervous. And she said, "They all prayed with absolute and total conviction." It was one of the best compliments I have ever received as a minister. That I had so encouraged my students to be in a place of faith, that their conviction in the good of God would not be shaken. That is not certainty, my friends. Conviction and certainty are not the same thing. As a matter of fact, if you think about it for a while, you'll realize that a lot of people who have a lot of certainty are perhaps the least faith-based people you know. We live in a time of great uncertainty, but there is only one sin, and that is certainty itself. It is the enemy of tolerance. It is the enemy of unity. Faith, on the other hand, is a living thing, and it walks hand in hand with doubt. With certainty, there is no mystery and no need of faith. Someone shared this with me the other day. I was struck by it for 2 reasons. One, the simplicity and power of what was shared, and 2, the source of the sharing. Here's the quote. "God is the name of the blanket we throw over mystery to give it shape." I'll say that one more time. God is the name of the blanket we throw over mystery to give it shape. Pretty powerful. But you get the image. There's a mystery going on right now in certain parts of the world that I, with all of my faith, cannot unravel. But if we can throw that blanket over it, I can get a shape of it. I can get a sense of it. I can get an idea of what it is. Now let me really shock you. This came from Barry Taylor. Anybody know who Barry Taylor is? He's the road manager for AC/DC. what has happened where we're getting our deepest spiritual wisdom from the road manager of AC/DC in churches that are afraid to mention the name of God. I am absolutely unapologetic about using the word God. I don't do it to offend. I might do it to, as we say as teachers, fluff the flesh a little bit. But what I have in mind is that each and every one of us recognize the power and presence that is that which we are. And that we question it, what it means for us, what it gives to us, what it allows us to express. Sometimes I look at my life and I say to myself, to be this age and still not know yourself is a terrible thing. And I'm sure that on some level I'm not alone in saying that. You see, when I got to be 65, I thought, well, I'm just very, very short of knowing everything there is to know. And when I got to be 70, and all that there was to know started to recede into the landscape, I began to think, I'm never going to catch up. There has been an absolutely incredible explosion of things that I know nothing about. But the point is that we, each and every one of us here, is here to share an ideal. To share an ideal. We cannot always be the ideal. We cannot always be the best that we would be. But we can all of us, continue to move in that direction. The catharsis that I spoke about, that gets triggered in good theater, is a cleansing and a purification. It is a release of emotion and a purge of trauma. And is what, in reality, we are all looking for. And it is not so that we can be free of those things, but so that we can be available to what is real. I'm going to say that one more time. It is not so that we can be free of those things that we feel imprison us, but so that we can be available to what is real. On the other side of catharsis, and the Greeks, Aristotle's comment on theater outlines this so clearly. On the other side of that cathartic moment is metanoia, the change from who I was, or who I perceived myself to be, perhaps more accurately, to who I really am. The nature of prayer, and prayer in and of itself, the most important and valuable thing that we can do. Janet mentioned that I was a Trappist monk. I joined the Trappists, and I don't know if you know who they are. They are commonly referred to as the boot camp of the Catholic Church, in the sense that getting up at 2 in the morning, sleeping on boards, and eating one meal a day, and praying 7 hours a day, that's about as rigorous as you can get. And by the way, all of this done in total silence. But what I found in that community of 117 men that I lived with in silence for 5 years, what they were masters of prayer. They had no outlet in the world. They had no carnal mind that they could employ in making the world a better place. All they had was divine mind. All they had was what the Fillmores refer to as Christ mind. That's what they had. And they were intent on making the world a better place without rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. They were convinced that the prayer that they would do would change the world. And I saw and had experiences of that, and it changed me forever. My belief in prayer and our ability to use that Christ consciousness to create a better world is, in fact, unshakable. Let me share with you one thing from this wonderful book, Beyond Words and Thoughts by Joel Goldsmith. Praying for the world does not mean praying for peace on earth, because that is praying for an effect. We can pray only that the kingdom of God be realized on earth as it is in heaven, and as you prayed earlier. And that the realization itself will bring peace. I woke up the other morning, as I often do, and somebody is talking to me, a voice in my ear, saying things, the most amazing things. And the voice to me said, "All power in heaven and earth has been given to me." That section from Matthew leads into what's been called the Great Commission. And I'll review the Great Commission for you before I dismiss it entirely. All power in heaven and earth has been given to me. Therefore, go forth, baptizing all nations in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. I do not for a moment believe that those are the words of Jesus. I believe they are the words of a group of people who wanted to have a successful religion started called Christianity. But what I do believe is the Great Commission. I'm going to share it with you today, and these are words that I do believe were spoken by the master teacher himself. Love one another. Love one another as I have loved you. By this will they know that you are my disciples, that you love one another. You see, in the end, my friends, it's all going to come back to that. It's going to come back to the prayer that heals the world. And the prayer is, can you love what is unlovable? Can you love that which is before you in its unlovableness and know a greater for it? That, my friends, is your great commission. If you leave today carrying with you anything from what I've said, watch doubt. No, I'm kidding. Love one another as I have loved you. Let this be a sign so that they know that you are my disciples, that you love one another. So ends the lesson, and so it is. Namaste.
And I'll sing your part at first so you get the hang of it. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. Let me learn from all the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Let me share the good that's overflowing. And let me care for those around the world. Let me care for those around the world. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Our Enlightened Manifestation 2-evening workshop is fast approaching and will begin on Wednesday, March the 5th and Wednesday, March the 12th. This 2-evening workshop led by Randy Purcell will provide you with a practical process and processes to help you manifest more effectively. You'll learn proven principles that will help you leverage mind power, intention, quantum physics, and meditation to achieve true happiness and freedom from any worry or doubt. Most importantly, you'll leave this workshop with a clear plan and the next steps to co-create your deepest desires. And if you have questions, Randy, we all know who you are. Where are you? There you are. There we go. Good. If you want to talk to Randy afterwards and know more about it, you can always do that. The course is offered by donation and once again is live in person at the Unity Center beginning Wednesday, March the 5th. Coming up on February the 22nd from 1 till 4 is our annual prayer workshop. Join us for an afternoon of spiritual nourishment, inspiration, and transformative prayer. This class is open to all, whether you just walk through the doors to Unity with questions, or if you were a long-time Unity student wanting to rekindle the flame of your prayer life. It is facilitated by Barb Richards and Shirley Thompson, who are here today. And together we will demystify what prayer is and what it is not, explore the universal principles behind prayer, and practice ways of using affirmative prayer in our daily life. We will design or reignite your own prayer practice. Note, if you are considering becoming a prayer chaplain, this workshop is a prerequisite. We'll be able to find, and you'll be able to find, all of the info for this upcoming class, talks, and workshops on our website. So please be sure to visit Unity of Vancouver. Also, if you are interested in becoming a prayer chaplain, please join us on Sunday, March the 2nd from 12:40 to 1:10 in the upstairs boardroom. This informal session will provide information on Unity's prayer chaplain program and what the criteria for becoming a prayer chaplain is, along with details on the role and responsibilities. And our Course in Miracles study group is live at Unity every Tuesday from 12:30 to 2:30 in the lower level. Also coming up on March the 2nd, following anybody who would be going to the boardroom information session, we have Reverend Vicki Vanderhorst here, who is going to be doing a Gifts of Sacred Service workshop. Your unique gifts are exactly what Unity needs to thrive, so we want you to join us on March the 2nd from 1:15 to 3:30 for a high-energy workshop that will empower you to discover your strengths and discover what and how you can create impact. This is a spirit-fed model that fosters a personal and collective growth, and we invite everyone to attend. Reverend Vicki offers this fresh perspective on service and has shared this approach to many Unity centers throughout Canada and the United States. So, finally, a reminder that you are invited to join our Sunday morning mastermind prayer group. These powerful, powerful meetings strengthen your intention through unconditional support of mastermind prayer partners. We meet from 10 till 10:30 on the lower level, and everyone is welcome. And now we bring our gathering to a close, and we invite you also downstairs for cookies and coffee and tea and conversation. And let us close with our prayer for protection. All together now as we stand. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And please remain standing as we do our peace song.
And let it begin with me. Let there each other.